Hold up. Before we start the show, we gotta address something.
Yeah, the fact that you still don't own our merch.
Disrespectful, honestly. You listen every week. You yell at your phone when I'm right.
You mean when you think you're right?
Either way, you're not repping the brand. That's a problem.
Big problem, because the Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling podcast shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees, main event material.
Soft, comfortable, championship level drip.
Perfect for Raw, perfect for Dynamite, perfect for sitting on the couch judging creative decisions like you book the territory.
And let's be honest, when you walk into a show wearing our logo,
You're basically saying I've got elite taste.
who's your favorite wrestling podcast?
Who runs the hot takes?
Who brings the chaos every week?
Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling. So stop playing.
Search Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Grab the shirt.
Join the movement.
And look better than Mr. Wrestling while you're at it.
Okay, wow. We're ending strong.
We are ending strong in our merch. Welcome back to the Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling podcast. So we started a little wrestling podcast from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and now people apparently come on this show to get world title shots.
At this point, we should start charging a booking fee. And tonight, we're breaking new ground.
For the first time ever, we have a returning guest on the podcast, and it couldn't come at a better time.
Last time Odin Davenport joined us, we talked about his journey, his career, and where he wanted to go next.
Well, I say things have changed a bit because Odin Davenport returns tonight as the reigning, defending CCW Heavyweight Champion.
He's not coming back just to show off the gold. He's here because Wrestlebash 35 is coming.
Waiting for him are two men who have already sat across from us on this podcast, Bryce the Machine Maddox and the Violent Gentleman Miles Blackwell.
3 men, 1 CCW Heavyweight Championship, and 1 absolutely brutal stipulation.
The loser ends their career.
That's not a match where you shake hands afterward and start talking about the next show.
For one of these 3 men, there is no next show, and Odin Davenport has some things he wants to say before that bell rings.
So tonight, we're talking about becoming champion, what the title means to him, Bryce Maddox, Miles Blackwell, Wrestlebash 35, and exactly what Odin thinks is going to happen when 3 careers walk into that match and only 2 are guaranteed to walk out with their careers intact.
The champion is back. He's got the belt. He's got the floor.
And apparently, if history tells us anything, Bryce and Miles should probably thank us for getting them into this title match.
You're welcome, boys. This is Odin Davenport, round 2. Welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling podcast. Odin, thanks for joining us again.
So what you're saying is I have you two to blame for this triple threat match? I don't know if I should be happy to be here or not now. I'm a little concerned about what I'm walking into.
We have a theory that people that get on our podcast go on to get championship title matches. I mean, you were one of our very first guests, and look, you've got the gold strapped to your waist right now. The theory is holding strong.
No, you're pretty right about that. I guess that did happen shortly after I talked to you guys the first time around, didn't it?
It did, and you're still holding it strong. I mean, you don't seem to be shaking in your boots or anything.
Nah. 2026 has been the year of Odin Davenport. I mean, I've been on quite the tear, and I don't plan on getting off of it anytime soon. So why be nervous? I'm not worried about it.
So Odin, welcome back. You've officially had the distinction of being the first returning guest on the Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling podcast. We're thrilled. A lot has changed since we last talked, and when you look at the guy that sat down with us the first time versus now the CCW Heavyweight Champion sitting here today, what's changed for Odin Davenport?
Well, as you said, I am the CCW champion now, so everything has changed. I am the number one gun. I am the one that everybody wants, and that's how I've ended up in the situation that I'm in now. Now I've got to put my career on the line, which is ridiculous. I'm still trying to fight that, but it is what it is. But I have to do that in order to keep this belt, and I will do anything it takes to keep it.
How do you feel about your opponents coming on your favorite podcast? A podcast you've been a friend of since the beginning, and now here these 2 guys are trying to steal your spot again.
See, what those two do is none of my business. The only time it's my business is when that bell rings. And I'm not concerned about what they do. If they want to get out here and try to get some spotlight to try to live up to the name of Odin Davenport in the CCW Championship, then good on them. Good on them. I could care less.
So the last time you were here, becoming a world champion was something you were chasing. Now that you have the championship, has being the guy felt exactly how you thought it would?
Better. It's I enjoy being the center of attention. I enjoy hogging the spotlight, and I do it well. So I'm having a great time, and even more fun getting to beat up every person on our roster is really joyful. It's just something I enjoy doing. So I'm having just a great year.
Yeah, you're taking no prisoners. Like, you are on there, I feel like, every single week, like, kicking asses and taking names,
Yeah.
definitely.
I might got to.
Right? You gotta get that company in line there.
Yeah, it's hard to, especially when you're doing this with a bunch of 20-somethings. You got to remind them that daddy's still in charge.
There's the difference between wanting to become the champion and carrying the responsibility of actually being the champion. So, have you learned anything new about yourself since winning the title?
You know, I have learned some new things about myself. I learned that I am willing to take and do whatever it takes to remain champion. I really enjoy the perks that come along with this belt. I enjoy being the one to go on all the news shows. I enjoy being the one that does all the interviews. I don't know if we recently saw this year. I was basically the lead focus of a documentary that some random people came and did on CCW, but I was the one that was front and center. And I enjoy that type of stuff. So having this has allowed me to finally do everything I've wanted to do.
So, Odin, I want to take you back to the moment when you won the championship. When the referee counted 3 and you realized, I'm the CCW Heavyweight Champion, what was the first thought that went through your head?
I finally got that big blockhead. I finally got him. That was the first time I've wrestled Bryce. Oh my goodness. For the last 4 years, Bryce and Miles have been the people that I've been in the ring with the most. And Bryce is one person in CCW that I had never beaten. So when I finally heard that 1, 2, 3 and my hand was raised, it was a "I told you so" moment because I told him I was getting him. He had his time, and now it was mine. So now having that validated, it felt excellent.
And that was a quick roll up. Was that a roll up win?
It sure was.
How did that feel?
Oh, awesome. He thought he had me, but I got him at the last second, and sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes you just got to take advantage of a mistake, and I will take advantage of any mistake my opponent gives me. Trust.
You're going up against Bryce Maddox. You have a huge history with him. Miles Blackwell. I feel like this is going to be a heavy hitter match. It's going to be incredible. The three of you guys are great talents. Obviously, you're the champ for the reason. The best man won. Um,
Yeah.
when this match was first presented to you, what was your immediate reaction?
I didn't want to do it, to be honest. It's hard enough having to face one opponent, but having to watch my back against 2 opponents, and the 3 of us, like I said, we know each other very well. I've teamed with both of these guys, and I've gone against them more times than I can count. So this one, it will be a challenge, but I promise I'm not going to be the one losing my career because, like I said, whatever it takes, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to leave Wrestlebash champion.
So let's talk about Bryce Maddox. We've had Bryce sitting where you're sitting right now, but I want you to forget the resume.
Hang on.
And
He couldn't afford to sit where I'm sitting, so let's not go that far. But yes, you've had him on your podcast. Go ahead.
when you look at Bryce as a professional wrestler, do you respect him as a pro wrestler?
Hard not to, unfortunately. The guy is he's an incredible athlete. He's explosive. He's talented. He is strong as a freaking bull. So it's hard not to respect what Bryce Maddox brings to the ring. One thing I don't think he brings, though, that I have the advantage of is my brain. Like Bryce he's all brawn, he's not very smart. So I can see I've learned how to deal with Bryce Maddox at this point.
Now, I mean, there's also Miles Blackwell, the Violent Gentleman. Miles brings a completely different energy to the match. What concerns you most about having somebody like Miles Blackwell involved when the stakes are this high?
Miles is he's unorthodox. Miles is very dangerous. You wouldn't expect some of the things that comes out of Miles. You'll be standing straight up, and the next thing you know, you're face first on the mat with your arms and your fingers being twisted in ways you wouldn't naturally think they twisted because Miles I don't know what he does. It's that British style of wrestling that he has learned from and that he's come from and that he has perfected. And that makes him very dangerous. But like I said, with Bryce, I've been working Miles for the last 4 years, and I think I've learned him pretty well too. I've studied beside him and I've worked against him, so I can see everything that he's thinking as well. And I always end up staying one step ahead.
So here's what makes this fascinating to me. Bryce doesn't have to beat you. Miles doesn't have to beat you. You know, you may not even be involved in the decision and lose your championship. You know,
What
how do you approach a match like this?
you know, it's kind of ridiculous, and that's one of the things that I've tried to have my lawyers come through all the paperwork because I think the rules of a triple threat match are ridiculous. It's a cop out. If I lose my belt, I should be the one to get pinned. It shouldn't be Miles. It shouldn't be Bryce, but it is what it is. And I'm going to have to keep my head on the swivel, and I'm going to have to always make sure that I am in the middle of that ring, commanding that entire match and dominating and controlling that match. And that's how I walk out as champion.
At the very least, they should have honored your championship run and at least made it a three-way dance where it's an elimination for each person. At
So
least do right by the champion.
it would be nice, but nobody ever thinks about me. Nobody ever thinks about, the reason that everybody comes, the local hero and treasure. But it is what it is. I'm going to do what it takes, and I will come out victorious like I always do.
I
Well, we
mean, it
think
sounds
about
like
you, Odin.
we do. We do. We talk about you all the time too. You're like a name in our household. So
Thank you. Thank you.
to me, it really seems like you're carrying this company on your back, being the champion. I mean, you've been with the company forever now. I mean, you're with the school too, right? So,
Yeah.
um, what's going to be different when you come out victorious? Are you going to have to set some boundaries now? Like, listen, the buck stops here. You tried to take away my career. Not happening. I'm still the champ.
Listen, the boundaries have already been set. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that I'm the best, and that's why they keep coming for me. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, keep proving myself day in and day out, and keep showing everybody why they call me the gold standard of CCW. Because I am the best, and I'm going to remain the best for a long time.
So, have you allowed yourself to really think about what it would feel like to watch one of those guys realize their career's over because of you?
Think about that for a long, long time. This company is not big enough for our three personalities anymore. This company's not big enough to have Bryce Maddox, Miles Blackwell, and Odin Davenport all trying to be on top. It's not big enough, and I've been ready for one of them, if not both, to be gone so I can just reign supreme and just dominate for as long as I want to. So I am ready. Either one, don't care, could be both. I want to try to pin them both at the same time, not to say that.
So from the sound of it, there's no hesitation. Like you're gonna just pull the trigger and put one of them out of their misery. Do you think afterwards it could be, you know, a sense of missing like a wrestling soulmate no longer there to, sharpen your own skills?
Did you see his face? I don't think he feels that way.
Nah, no. Like I said, I want to be there to just run roughshod over everyone. I mean, I already do anyway, but those two are the biggest thorns in my side. So the quicker I can get them out of here, the better. I'm not going to miss either one of them, to be honest. I'm going to be thrilled. And whenever I pin, whoever I pin, I trust you. I am going to start the whole crowd singing, na, 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 hey, 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 goodbye. Ain't nobody worried about those two, please.
Let's just turn it around for a second I mean, we're getting a little vulnerable here, or at least we are. I don't know. You sacrificed years of your life for professional wrestling. What would it mean to Odin Davenport, the person, in your cold, black heart? Not the character, not the champion. If somebody took away wrestling from you at Wrestlebash.
You know, don't think about it because it's not going to happen. Like, I'm going to end my career when I want to end my career, and my career is not going to end on August 22nd. It's just, it's not time. I'm running too hot right now. I'm on the run of my career, and neither one of these two are going to be able to stop me because right now I'm just too damn good for them. And unfortunately, they don't have what it takes anymore. I've surpassed them, so I'm not worried about it.
So wrestlers always say, I'm willing to put everything on the line. And most nights it's an expression. But that's literally what's happening here at WrestleBash 35. Does knowing your career could end change the way you experience these final days before the match?
You know, to be honest, it's more that it pisses me off that the people at B of CCW thought that they could just try to take something away from me. And I think this was personal. I think they did this because, listen, Miles Blackwell was the one who said he would put his career up. So I don't know how my career got thrown into that too, but I think it's because the powers that be don't like Odin Davenport as their champion. They don't like Odin Davenport as the face of the company, but I don't care. I'm going to remain that way. And all it does is it angers me and it makes me want to hurt them more. It makes me want them to see more of me as champion, and it makes me want to end the careers of Bryce and Miles even more that they put me in this position. So I'm fired up and I'm ready to go, and I am pissed off that this is even happening.
I mean, the floor is yours. The microphone is yours right now. Bryce Maddox and Miles Blackwell are both probably going to be listening. What's one thing that you want both of them to understand before they step into that ring with you at WrestleBash 35?
I want them to understand that I'm not the same Odin Davenport that they've both known for years. That I'm not the same Odin Davenport that they have had their victories over. I'm not the same Odin Davenport that they both used as a stepping stone. See, at one point of my career or another, I trusted both Bryce and Miles. And I realized that they both used me. Bryce used me to get to the top of CCW, and Miles used me to stay there when he was part of the Diamond Exchange. But what happened at the end of the day? I kicked Miles out of the Diamond Exchange, and then I took Bryce's belt. And at WrestleBash 35, boys, I'm going to take your career. Don't care which one it is. I just hope not to see one of you sooner than later.
So I want to play a little name association with you here, Odin. When you hear the name Bryce Maddox, what's the first thing you think of?
The first thing I think of Bryce Maddox, loser, because I beat him.
When you hear the name Miles Blackwell, what's the first thing you think of?
Wannabe, because he wants to be champ. It is not going to happen.
So who's next once you win? Who's next for you?
Sure. Listen, whoever wants to come for it, whoever wants to challenge for this, I take on all challengers, and I have been all year because I'm not scared, because I am the best professional wrestler in all of Northeast Florida and all of Southeast Georgia and all of the territory of Continental Championship Wrestling. Ain't nobody better. So whoever wants it can come and try it, but they ain't gonna leave with this belt. I always will.
Now you've mentioned having your lawyers look over the paperwork, trying to, do right by you. Do you feel there's some kind of conspiracy in CCW because of how dominant this reign has been?
Absolutely. If there wasn't a conspiracy, this would have been a one-on-one match. What they want is they don't want me as champion. They don't want the gold standard representing their company because they're afraid that I'm going to bring more eyes on there than they could possibly imagine. They don't want me being the top guy because they want their little Bryce Maddox. They want their little, oh, hey, I'm a nice guy. You should be like me. Or they want their Miles Blackwell, who's in the same vicinity, that they want their proper representation. They want somebody nice to lead the company, but neither one of those boys are nice. I'm actually the nice one. Everybody voted that I'm the nicest guy in CCW, so I don't understand this hate against me. It's ridiculous.
I mean, do you think it's really a matter of like they just can't afford to keep you on the books anymore? Like, I imagine you're probably coming for them at least for your retainer fee. Like, this has been crazy.
It's been ridiculous, and it's something I'm used to fighting, but I'm gonna keep fighting, and it is what it is. If I've got to do this, I've got to do it. The people at CCW have somehow figured out a way to stamp this and make this ironclad, so I guess I got to do what I got to do. But like I said, whatever it takes, I'm leaving champion.
Now, to follow up on the conspiracy, are you worried about a Wrestlebash 35 screw job where no matter what happens, they're out to get the champ?
Well, listen, the first thing that I'm worried about is that I have to do this in Palatka, Florida, which is
Ugh.
absolutely disgusting. That's the first fix. But listen, I've got something waiting for anybody who tries to do anything sneaky. Let's just say that. I've always got an insurance plan. So I'll be okay. I'm not worried.
You know, one of the last shows I was in Florida for, I didn't even go because it was in Palatka. I heard it was the armpit of Florida. My
Right.
family that's down there never has anything good to say about it, so
No
I
one
couldn't even bear to step foot there, so didn't go.
No one
Now,
does.
yeah, I've heard not good stuff about it. Now, today on Facebook, there was an announcement or something. They're like, "Hey, we have a huge announcement after Wrestlebash. It's going to change the history or whatever of CCW." Now, I mean, you're going to walk away the champ, clearly. Do you feel like this big announcement could be like, just kidding, winner also loses their career? Like, what is this going to be
No,
about? Some crazy
I
nonsense,
think the
right?
huge announce I think the huge announcement is probably going to be a giant parade, a la like a Super Bowl parade throughout the entire city of Jacksonville celebrating their champion. I think that's what the giant announcement is going to be. So I'm gonna probably be on some sort of float going around tossing out, like some, I don't know, some propaganda, some flags, some stickers, some Odin Davenport merchandise to everybody who wants to come. I think that's what the big announcement. It's probably just to celebrate me, I'm sure.
Maybe like a surprise party, but they really truly
Yeah,
want you to be
yeah, there's
surprised.
gonna be a cake, balloons, like I said, floats, dancers. It's gonna be amazing.
If you had to pick one of your two opponents to pin and end their career, do you have a preference to which one you want to make happen?
Honestly, no. Like I said earlier, it could be either one of them. I prefer to do them both at the same time, get them both out of the way. It doesn't matter if it's Bryce. It doesn't matter if it's Miles. All I know is that one of them I'll never have to look in the eye again, and that is going to be one of the greatest feelings on the planet because it's all about me. And if they're in the way, it's going to be a lot harder to keep me in the focus. So let's get either one of them out. Don't care.
We do have the final question here. Your time is totally valuable. You've got a lot on your plate with this match coming up. I just want to finish somewhere we normally wouldn't go. But with this stipulation, I think we kind of have to. You've given a piece of your life to professional wrestling. You've taken the bumps, made the drives, spent the nights away from home, chased opportunities, climbed the ladder, and eventually reached the top as a CCW Heavyweight Champion. None of us sitting here knows whose hand will be raised at WrestleBash 35, and none of us knows whose career ends when that match is over. So forget Bryce Maddox, forget Miles Blackwell, forget the championship even for a moment. Odin Davenport, if WrestleBash 35 turns out to be your final match in professional wrestling, when the bell rings for the last time and you walk through the curtain knowing it's over, what do you want your final thoughts to be about this journey?
Done what I needed to do. I've done everything I've wanted to do. I've been a champion multiple times over, whether singles or a tag match. I'm respected where I am. I am valued where I am. And I've been on top of the game where I am. And there's not much more I could want from that. I am not ready for my career to be over, so I know it's not going to be. Because, like I said, I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that keeps going. But at the end of the day, if my career were to end right now, I'm happy because the gold standard is the gold standard for a reason because everybody looks at me as the best. Everybody knows that when they see me in the ring, they're going to get a good show and they're going to get a good match. And I'm happy with that. Am I ready to be done with that? By no means. But if I had to step away now, I'm good with what I left behind. I think I have made the business better than what it was when I got here.
So a huge thank you to our first ever returning guest, the reigning, defending CCW Heavyweight Champion, Odin Davenport, for coming back, sitting down with us, and holding absolutely nothing back.
And Odin, we appreciate you trusting us with this conversation because this wasn't just another interview about another wrestling match.
At Wrestlebash 35, it's Odin Davenport versus the Violent Gentleman, Miles Blackwell, versus the Machine, Bryce Maddox, for the CCW Heavyweight Championship.
And somebody's career is ending.
That sentence that hits a little differently after you've had the opportunity to sit down and talk with all three men involved.
We've heard Bryce's story, we've heard Miles' story, and now we've heard directly from the champion.
Three guys who have sacrificed for this business, three guys who believe they should walk out of Wrestlebash 35 with the championship, but only two of them are guaranteed to leave with their wrestling careers intact.
And apparently we've learned something else along the way.
If you come on the Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling podcast, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get a world championship opportunity.
So to every independent wrestler listening right now, our interview waitlist is open. You're welcome.
But seriously, Odin, thank you for coming back and becoming the first two-time guest in the history of this podcast. No matter what happens at WrestleBash 35, we're grateful that you've allowed us to document another chapter in your journey.
I'm ready to tell you how it's been my pleasure to be here. And I am sure that my interview was better than Miles and Bryce because just, I'm better. So anyway, sorry. Please continue.
And everybody listening or watching, independent wrestling survives because people show up. Buy a ticket, buy the merch, share the posts, follow the wrestlers, and support the promotions, giving these men and women a place to chase their dreams.
Make sure you're following the Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling podcast. Subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts because we've got plenty more indie spotlights coming your way.
Until next time, this has been the Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling podcast with the one and only gold standard Odin Davenport. If you want to get the best info on the best wrestlers on the indie wrestling scene, join this wrestling podcast and you won't be disappointed because you'll get to see superstars like the local and national hero of Duval County, Florida, Odin Davenport.